Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Bryan Artist, host of the Dr. Artist Show, and this is a very special announcement and a very special invitation. One of the few people in this world I 100% admire, adore, look up to, look forward to hanging out with some period of every year. That is G. Edward Griffin. And this weekend in Las Vegas, if you're going to be in Vegas this weekend, come join us. I will be speaking at the Red Pill Expo that G. Edward Griffin and his team puts on every single year, multiple places around the country. I will be there in Las Vegas physically. There's also digital access to the Red Pill Expo and their university. But I have G. Edward Griffin from wherever he is in the world right now set up in his amazing library. I want him to come on and tell our audiences about why he's so excited about whatever number Red Pill Expo this is. It's a big deal to put on conferences. You guys know what it takes for us to put on Healing for the Ages every year and having tens of thousands of digital attendees, 700 to 800 attendees in person. It is a big, big deal. But G. Edward Griffin and his team have been doing this for way more years than I've been doing it. So I'm excited to invite you to either attend virtually or to come in person to the Red Pill Expo in Las Vegas and join me, G. Edward Griffin, and some incredible speakers that are on that lineup. And I'll just tell you, I did an interview with one of the speakers just on Monday night of this week, actually. One of my favorite doctors on earth will also be there speaking, and that is Dr. Lee Merritt. I was on her podcast on Monday night. Come hang out with me, Dr. Lee Merritt, G. Edward Griffin. Alex Jones is set to speak. He might be virtual. He might be in person. I have no idea, but he has been virtual at other events I've been to for the Red Pill. But we are very, very excited for the list of speakers. Alex Newman will be there. Robert Scott Bell will be there. Come join the party at the Red Pill Expo, virtually or in person in Las Vegas. And here to personally invite you, literally a hero for the ages is how I see him, G. Edward Griffin himself, there in his library, where I'm sure he either wrote all those books or read all those books. How are you, G. Edward Griffin? It's great to see you.
Well, I wasn't so hot when I came over here about 20 minutes ago, but having listened to your tremendous introduction of me, I feel like I'm on top of the world.
You should be. You should be. All of us see you the same way. We are very, very honored to be able to get to know you.
Thank you.
I appreciate all the work you've done for many, many years to educate not only on the world fight against cancer, writing those books, unveiling and pulling back the veil on the deceptions of the Federal Reserve, you name it. You have done a great job in your own personal research to wake people up to truths that are threatening to our freedoms here in the United States and in our own homes. So I applaud you and I thank you.
Well, thank you. I've never had such an introduction. I hope I recorded it because I'm going to play it all afternoon and listen to it.
Well, this is recorded and it's going to be all over the Dr. Artist Show and everybody at home is watching it. And if you want the recording, we're going to send it to you there, buddy.
Yeah. Well,
so
it is.
Tell everybody what you're excited about. What number Red Pill is this? Do you know?
Oh, well, let's see. This is number, well, I don't know. I think it's 12 or 13, something like that.
12.
Our first one was in 2017. And we had a couple of years where we had two of them in the same year. This year, we've only had one, and I think that's enough for this year, too. But I've always wanted to do about one a week because we're running out of time to save the world, you know. And we don't want to just meal around and say, well, we'll have a great meeting once a year. My gosh, the whole empires have risen and fallen in less period than that. So I'm really serious, as you know, about what I'm doing. I like to joke a lot about things. Sometimes my wife says, you joke too much. This is serious business. And I said, I know that's the reason I joke, because it's so serious I get worried and I have to laugh at things.
You and I carry a very similar personality trait when it comes to the heavy, the evil. We will often laugh our way through it. Yep. Smirk.
It's the only way.
Joke our way
it's
through
the only way through it. Otherwise, you take life and death too seriously, and it's like I love that expression. Hey, man, listen, this is as serious as a heart attack. Listen up, you know.
That's hilarious. Now, I really enjoy hanging out with you, and I just want the audiences to know. I think you're 95 years old. Is that right?
Well, I'm closer to 95 than 94 right now.
All right. So 94 years old. And I think it's amazing. My mother-in-law is 94, and I got to spend the 4th of July with her in her assisted living home and celebrate lunch and have brisket with her here in Texas. She personally invited me to come there with Jane, her daughter. And it was really, really amazing to be with her. But I want to share my perspective with the audience. I don't know how many of you watching this are 94 years old or 95 years old, but the world these individuals have lived through and witnessed the changes from one year to another is very humbling to me. And I love learning your perspectives on the world today and what you've seen transition and transpire over the last many decades, which are many more than my own decade. So this is why I enjoy hanging out with individuals that have lived a lot longer or any time period longer than me, or lived in other countries I've never been in. Their perspectives help me reground me, resettle me, and refocus my efforts and my attention.
Well, it is something, uh, learning from people that have learned the hard way, and you can all you have to do is ask questions, and in 30 minutes or less, you can almost have a lifetime of knowledge if you just keep your ears open and quit talking and listen for a change. I picked
Yes.
up on that trick long ago that I wasn't learning too much when I was talking, so I learned to listen, and it's amazing how that works out.
So what are you excited about with the red pill? I'm excited. You and I,
Well,
we
I'm
talked off
excited
air
about
that we are kindred spirits, and both of us are very excited about
yeah.
the next event coming up in Vegas this weekend.
Yeah, it's not the event itself, although there's plenty there to be excited about. Lots of interesting people, lots of knowledge, and lots of good laughter for a change too. And being among people of like mind who really understand what is going on in the world, and you don't have to, walk on eggs for you insult somebody by telling them the truth, and they accidentally hear that they don't believe it. But the thing that exhilarates me most about what I do, Brian, is that it's not today, it's tomorrow. It's what I'm working on. It's what I see at the end of this path. And yeah, at 94, I don't consider this to be the end of the path. I somewhere in the middle, as far as I'm concerned. No, that's kind of stupid, but I, I noticed a long time ago when I was on that path where I was the youngest one in the group always. Well, I noticed there was a difference between the old folks and the young folks, a huge difference, and that the old folks were always talking about the past. Well, we did this, and I remember doing that. And hey, remember, Maud? This happened. That was the year of the blue snow, and all the good times. And oh, let's talk about our ailments now. Oh, how's your sickness? Okay, I'm coming along. I guess I'm all going to be all right. Then they talk about the grandchildren. Oh, we got great grandchildren. I never heard the old folks talk about what are you working on? What are your plans for tomorrow or next year? What are you building? What are you conceiving of developing that doesn't exist now? How do you see, are you going to fix something that's not working? I never heard the old folks talk about that, but the young folks were always talking about, oh, tomorrow I'm going to do this, or next year I'm going to do that. And when I grow up, I'm going to, everything is in the future. And I remember making a decision at some point in my early end of this whole thing. I wanted to be on the young side, no matter how old I got. And I always have ever since then, not because I planned on it, I don't think, but I just subconsciously, I think I'm alert to the future far more than I am to the past. The past was fun, most of it. Some of it was not so hot, but most of it was really great. But okay, that's gone. What about tomorrow? It's going to be even better. And I don't know, for what that's worth, if anybody's living a life right now out there and they kind of feel bored, it's because you don't have any plans.
That's exactly right.
Some plans together, make them challenging, make them impossible to achieve, like you and I are doing. We're going to save the bloody world. That's what we're going to do.
Yes, we
I
are.
don't care what they say. We're going to do that. So with goals like that, how can you be bored and how can you be unhappy? That's my advice. All right there in 30 seconds or less.
I love it. So you and I share something also very similar. We lead teams and we have groups of people who, as the leaders, you and I, we have visions for the future and what we want to accomplish for the world. And this is constantly why it is, I believe, leaders are important. But most people think there's like an endpoint in their life where they've accomplished all they need to, and then they retire, right? We're done. We're done working or planning for anything more amazing for the world.
They are done.
No, not for me. I haven't decided that, obviously, and it's very obvious. You still carry that flame of excitement and zeal for life. And I actually have these conversations with my wife all the time. I'm like, honey, when I look back on my life, I can't believe the amount of things that we've accomplished in our life, like in our lifetime. But when I think back on it, and anyone asks me, what do you think about life? I think it's been amazing, like incredible. It's been awesome. But there's been some really sucky things that have happened along the way. But overall, what an incredible experience it is to be a human being and to live at this time on this earth. Like I tell my wife this all the time, like I love living life. Like I love
Yeah.
it. And the things that are the most exciting are the things I envision for the future I want to do with my kids, my wife, my family, the people that follow me, the audiences, the groups of individuals I've fallen in love with and got to know who are kindred spirits on a similar mission to try to be great for others. It's so fun to collude with them, gather with them, and go find events that we can celebrate life together and then project that excitement for life and zeal on the audiences that are standing in front of you or at home. And for me, it is all about motivating people that life can be better than a lot of people find themselves in. But if you're bored, that's because you don't have any plans. Go make some plans, do something
Right.
great, and figure
It's
out
your
what you
own
value
fault.
and love and go do it. Yeah.
It's your own fault.
And
Well,
if you
that's
value
good.
learning, come hang out at the Red Pill Expo this weekend. That'll be great. Come on.
Yeah. And you mentioned just a moment ago, there are rough spots in the road. Some of them are big ditches and holes and maybe even crevices and maybe canyons that you have to cross without a bridge. But I found out that every time I come to a full stop because of a brick wall or a deep canyon that's right in my path, and it just completes me, it stops me from proceeding, and it breaks my heart. You know, I've had a couple of false prognosis of ailments I had when I was as young as 30. I was told I had multiple sclerosis by two doctors. Multiple sclerosis. What is that? I looked it up in the book. This is not what I wanted to do at age 30. I was up against a brick wall, you know. Well, it turns out these guys were wrong. It's as simple as that. I really had run myself
94
down.
years later, or 64 years later, they were definitely wrong. Yep.
Definitely wrong. And but I didn't know it at the time. I thought I was dying. I was paralyzed, and that's a big bad story. And you talk about a low point in your life. That was one of them for me. But I've discovered at that point and some others, every time I come to a brick wall or a canyon like that, it forces me to stop going in the direction I was going, and I have to make a detour of some kind, a very major one, often 90 degrees. Sometimes it's 180 degrees, but you cannot continue where you've been going. And in every case, this is the amazing thing. In every case, after a little while, it turns out that, oh, this was a better way to go after all. I should have been going in this direction. And it always turns out for the good. I cannot think of any major brick wall or resistance in my life that didn't turn out for the better for me. So I almost look forward to them now. Almost. They're no fun. But at least I have the knowledge that it's probably going to be good for me.
I think for a lot of us too, as life goes on and you meet those big crevices and canyons of stress and trauma and drama, I think as you come through each one of them, I think just long enough, you start to realize these are opportunities. They're not what is happening to me. They're happening for me. I can either pause and stop trying to do what I was doing and just give up, or I can pivot and I can see what direction and what learning and what advancement I can make in whatever goals I had already anyway. So I think that time gives us that, as long as we can stay focused on the ultimate goal, which is to create something amazing. And truly, there's a few things. Have you ever, I'm sure you've read Napoleon Hill's work.
No, I haven't.
You never read Napoleon's book, Think and Grow Rich? I'm sure you've heard of it.
No, I've heard the slogan.
Yeah, so he wrote that book. It's still the most used book in all financial, entrepreneur, leadership conferences, you name it, doesn't matter. Anything dealing with finance, that's the book everybody references, and it was written in the early 1900s. But soon after he wrote that book, he wrote a book called Outwitting the Devil. And in the book, he actually believes he interviewed the devil, and he asked the devil, how do you sway the hearts of men and women to forget that they are children of God? And in the book, he writes that Lucifer told him, that the greatest tool I have to distract men and women from their true creative powers in life. He said, My goal, my job is to make men and women forget that God created little images of himself, and his powers are to create whatever life they want. So in order
Mm-hmm.
to take them away from that creativity and remembering creativity, I create through a tool he calls drifting. He creates distractions in people's lives through a tool called drifting, where he gets them to focus on anything other than their ability to create the beautiful, amazing life they want to create.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as he can keep them distracted, he uses a tool called drifting. And I think for a lot of us, retirement can become drifting, social media can become drifting, the news can become drifting, fear mongering propaganda can become drifting. I mean, there's a whole lot of distractions that keep us from
Absolutely, yeah.
remembering we can create in any moment a moment of happiness, joy, sadness, loathing, you name it. You can create whatever outcome you want from any moment in your life. And if you're bored to death, go change it. Only you can change it. Go create something amazing. So, uh, and it could be anything. You could just go knit a new scarf for your, I don't know, for your neighbor. I don't care what it is. Go create something, and you will notice the creativity, the juices are going to start to flow, and the zeal for life, the excitement for life, is going to be way more palpable than the boredom or loss of zeal you think you're experiencing right now in life. And that's one thing about you. I could tell you really enjoy educating, researching, and bringing groups of people together to remind them that humanity has some great
Oh,
benefits to
oh
offer.
yeah. I've never been tempted to be a teacher, but then I discovered that that's what I do. But I don't consider myself to be a teacher because you can't shut me up. I want to tell everything I think I know. I want to share, even if
You
I'm
are an
wrong,
educator. Yep.
even if I'm wrong. And listen to me now.
Yep.
And then sometimes I run into some wise guy like myself that, no, you got it all wrong, Ed. It's the other way around. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, first thing you know, they're right and I'm wrong. So I just learned something. And, you know, I find it hard to believe that quality, which you so well described, is not found, or people have not found it within themselves, because surely you stumble across it somewhere along the way.
All
Yeah.
right. So you, just so y'all know at home, you're going to see on the screen here the website to actually be able to subscribe to, purchase tickets, to be a part of the download at home, or to buy tickets and come see us in person if you're in Vegas. And I know there's a lot of people in Vegas that follow me. Come see us at the Red Pill Expo. We'll be there this weekend in Las Vegas.
Yes.
It's going to be very, very exciting.
Yeah.
And yes, it's going to be a brand new presentation for all of you wondering what I'm going to yap about. Don't worry. I've got a great plan in place. It's going to be exciting. The PowerPoint's already been started, and it is going to be incredible. I cannot wait to open up your eyes to a new thing you've never heard of. That has
Well, that's what we
shockingly
expect from you, Bryan.
been revealed in research studies.
That's
It's
who
gonna be
you
exciting.
are. That's what you are. You're something. You're something nobody ever heard of before.
That's exactly right. Yep. I'm going to show you something you've never heard of before. And I just can't believe, I just love reading research studies. And when I dive into them, I'm like, this is so crazy. The fact you even mentioned this tells me you know what you're doing to people. I'm talking the pharmaceutical industry. They know exactly what is happening to children and adults that are playing the healthcare system game. They know exactly what they're doing, and you can learn a lot by what they experiment on mammals and humans all around the world. Just read the research, and you can watch once they realize, oh, this does this. Oh, we can go create all kinds of problems. We can profit off of medications to manage their symptoms for the rest of their life. It is a massive racket. Just wait till the racket I'm about to I'm going to unveil in front of everybody at the Red Pill Expo for the first time ever. And you're going to learn about something that has created suffering, risk of death in children of every age by the millions every single year in the United States, and how they are creating the scenario and then profiting off of it. You're going to see it's going to be amazing and disgusting. I hope. Hope it makes you a lot. Hope makes a lot of you angry.
That's the beginning, really the beginning of the discussion.
Yeah.
But it's a pattern that shows up everywhere, isn't it?
Sure.
Especially in healthcare, so-called healthcare. Well, I guess care is not a bad word for the business model, because doctors don't cure. I mean, except for guys like you, but most doctors don't cure anything. They treat. That's what they're trained to do, to treat it. But my God, if you cure some patient, you just lost a customer. So that's not a good business model.
I'll give you some perspective there too. In fact, that narrative, that belief system has been spoken so often. I'm not kidding. Like, I guess people talk about that very openly, because I'd have patients come into my practice and I would walk them through what we're going to do for the next 3 to 6 months to help relieve them of their suffering so they could come off of medications in the future. And not a joke, I had like 30 of my thousands of patients look at me and go like this, Dr. Artis, this seems like a very bad business model. If you heal me, why would I need to come back to you? And then I would literally look at them and go this, I don't want you to come back to me. Why would I want you to come back? That means I didn't fix you. That's weird. Or help you heal yourself. So I'd go like this. And what are you worried about a business model for? If I help you get rid of the migraines that have been debilitating your work, your home life, your marriage, your fatherhood, it's impacted every aspect of your life, spiritually even. If I make that go away forever, you're not going to tell everybody you meet in your entire life to get their rear end over to my office. You're not going to tell them. You really think this is a bad business model, that if I help you answer your why you have migraines at all, you're not going to go tell everybody to get their rear ends to come see me if they deal with a diarrhea problem, a food allergy problem, fibromyalgia, inflammatory condition. You're not going to tell them to show up here. I should have everybody, I should have more people lined up at my office if I help you get rid of your issue than ever before. Not keeping you around, making sure you just have a little bit of your suffering so I can treat it. That's weird. Like, no, listen, man, people still show up literally converting to Jesus Christ because they read stories of miraculous healing from a guy who wasn't even a licensed healer of any kind. And he never sent
license. No license.
And he never sent any of them. I make fun of this all the time from stages. How many of you think these healing miracles in the Bible are amazing? And have you ever wondered what medication did Jesus Christ recommend to that sick person to go to CVS and Walgreens to get to heal them? Zero, nada. He never once gave a prescription, never once said go see a medical professional. He just said, trust me. And then tell them whatever. And then they went and did it. All right. So all of you are converting to this amazing belief system because of a guy who could create healing. Now, notice none of those people's healings that I ever read disappeared and came back and went into remission. I never heard that. So I never heard they went back to Jesus for a second appointment, third appointment. The first time it didn't work. I didn't hear the blind man washed off the mud in the river off his eyes. I never heard that he got his sight back and then it went away again and he had to go get a follow-up with Jesus Christ. I never heard that. However, there are people by the millions every year converting to Christianity when they read these stories. Why would you think if someone healed somebody, your business model is screwed up? You should have people flocking to anybody by the droves of all the billions of people around the world that are sick every single day with some symptom because we're being poisoned 24/7 in our air, water, food supply, you name it, processed foods included, vaccines, drugs. Holy cow, it's incredible. Yeah. Well, we're very excited and thrilled to hang out with you once again this weekend. And is there anything particular you're excited to announce that may be new, or a new speaker, or some topic that you've heard is going to be presented that you're excited about, or some theme you see repeated in our lives right now that you're like, look, I've seen this 10 times. These people better be attending Red Pill Expo because we're going to make sure you're all aware this is a repetitive theme, a pattern. This is not something you need to concern yourself with. It is a very common theme of the media, the elites. I've watched it enough.
Yeah. Thank you, Bryan, for getting us onto a very important and serious topic, because there's not much to laugh at here. Most of your listeners and mine on our programs know about Sun Tzu, the Chinese warrior and philosopher from 500 BC, who wrote a treatise called The Art of Warfare, Art of War. And that book is, for listeners who don't know anything about it, has become a teaching manual in all of the countries, the Western countries of the world. And because the principles of warfare written in 500 BC have not changed. And I actually have read that several times, because every time I read it, I learn something I missed the first time. And I mention it because there's one principle in there that I want to talk about briefly here. Sun Tzu said, supreme excellence in warfare is to defeat your enemy without having to engage him in battle. Okay, what does that mean? How do you defeat your enemy without engaging him in battle? And the answer is simple. You convince him that he's already defeated. that resistance is futile, that it's over. Your enemy is too strong. You don't stand a chance. Now you take that little bit of knowledge and apply it to what is happening psychologically to the not only the people in America, not only to the people who understand what's happening in the world, but all around the world. People are convinced it's over. What can we do against this hierarchy, this
machine?
This machine is global. They all work together. They talk about the New World Order. It's already here. It's not coming. It's here. Look at what happened during COVID, when overnight every nation in the world came out with the same proclamation, the same solutions, the same language, the same words, sequence of words used over and over again. You realize that the whole world was already unified somehow under the grass. You didn't see it down in the roots. Yep. The New World Order is here. And so I think we've come to the point where this group, these oligarchs, that's what I like to call them, and it's very important we understand they're not just the white people or the black people, the Jews or the Catholics or the rich people, the poor people, none of that. They want to divide us into all these groupings so we can hate each other. It's collectivists who believe in a certain ideology called collectivism. That's the underlying thing. And I just call them the oligarchy of collectivists. And they know what they're doing, and they're organized. So, and they want us now, I'm sure, they want us to know how much power they have. They're not at all interested in stopping our little podcasters. There's, did you know this is wrong? Oh, that wrong. This is too, more problems than we knew. Oh, it's worse than we thought. They love that because now we're not going to resist. There's no point. We've lost. Oh, I have given thousands of speeches since I started as a young guy. I have had thousands of questions asked me after each of these presentations, but I've heard questions like, how do we survive? Should we buy gold and silver? Should we put food in preservative, get a stockpile of food? What about our water supply? We got to have friends so we help each other in times of dire need. All of these things of survival. How do we survive? How do we not go down? I've never had one person ask me, well, Mr. Griffin, how do we win? How do we win?
I'm going to ask you that this weekend, just so you know. I'm going to ask you that question.
And you won't have to, because I will already have told you.
Okay.
That's what we're doing there. So that's the topic. How do we win? We have to. Napoleon said it so well. He said, the purely defensive is doomed to defeat. Now, there's another military principle there. Unmistakable. Who is thinking of winning except the other side? And we're just thinking, well, how do you survive? How do I hide? Do I get rid of my social security number? What do I do to hide? This is not going to do it, folks. And so what am I talking about? That's my main theme. And the key to this theme is to, first of all, understand what's being done to your brain. Start thinking about how you win. It can be done, but the time is running out. I'm not kidding myself with that, but it still can be done. And we're going to be talking about what needs to be done and in what sequence. And the key to the whole thing is that we have to get organized. And that doesn't mean we have to become collectivists and work as a group against our will. It has to be all voluntary and all that sort of thing. But we do need to work together because there's power in numbers. And we have to get organized, and we have to have principles of what we believe in, not just those are the good guys. We're the good guys, they're the bad guys. And we'll kill all the bad guys, let the Lord figure them out later, sort them out later on. No, people have to understand what they believe in. What's worth fighting for? What's worth dying for? Know what our principles are, and not just, pray to God that he'll save us or something like that. No, it's going to take more than that. We'll be talking about how, and the key is forming campuses of something called Red Pill University, which is a harebrained idea of mine some years ago, and it's working very well. Just remember those words, Red Pill University. And soon to be appearing in every county, Red Pill University campuses.
I love it.
Human beings on the ground, talking to each other, working with each other, not sending emails to each other, not watching videos on the computer. Out there where the people are, active in politics, in organizations, in church movements, the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, healthcare, media, banking, money, everywhere. People have to be in those areas working with groups of people, not sitting at home hiding in their chairs saying, how can I pull the blinds down so they don't know I live here.
Of course.
You know?
Yep.
No, you've got to get out where the people are.
Well, you got to know how to win. So here we go. He's going to tell you how the strategy is to win. So make sure you hang out at the Red Pill Expo. This guy's read The Art of War. I don't think any of you have read it multiple times that are even watching this. You might have read it once, which is great. But I do know, you referenced something a second ago, and I think this is very important, why it is, I think, meetings and gatherings of individuals together from around the world or in our countries, counties, cities, I think is so important. I think one of the creeds or one of the well-known, most quoted phrases out of The Art of War is you have to divide to conquer. And I think there has been an absolute intentional effort to make sure they find any reasons. I think they just keep testing these ideas of division to see what catches on, whose heart mind goes, you know what, there's something wrong with people that don't agree with that point. Let's go after them. Let's go target the other groups. And it's just a massive amount of division. In fact, I think I'm just going to educate people 24/7 on what I see as a reality and what I've done to keep my family healthy. But even in the world of healthcare, you've got this MAHA movement, this anti-vaxxer movement, and the pharmaceutical giants. And you're like, oh, wait, so there's pro-medicine, anti-medicine, more natural alternative, or don't trust the quackery from the medical side, right? Don't trust the quacks on the other side. That is a whole division.
Absolutely.
Division to conquer.
Right.
And the more division we have, the easier it is to conquer us, man.
Once you see it, you'll never miss it again. But we're not trained to see it. We're not trained. We're trained to get caught up in these divisions and these
get charged
arguments, get charged, get angry, you know, yep. And it works very well. We have to study our enemy. And so we have to read more than Sun Tzu. We have to read Karl Marx and Vladimir Ilyich Lenin and Adolf Hitler. And they all wrote books. It makes it really easy. If you just read their books, you can understand what's going on in the world today. I used to hang out with the communists when I first became aware of this back in the 1960s. I went down to the communist bookstore in Los Angeles called the People's Bookshop. It's down on Larchmont Street. And I started to hang out with the comrades down there to find out what's this communism thing about. And they loaded me up with the books and everything. And I read them. And I say that with emphasis because I found out very quickly that the guys that were selling the books to me down there had not read them. They were selling them. They understood the slogans, you know, from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. You know, workers of the world, arise against your exploiters and let us war against racism and be against wars and all these things. It sound me up. Everybody would, sounds great, but they didn't understand the mechanisms of what goes on beneath the machinery that they were trying to put in place.
You know what that reminds me of? These comrades, by the way, who never read the books. This is like MDs, in my opinion, who recommend vaccines but have never read a package insert.
Never read the book. Never read.
They just defend it. And you know what they repeat 24/7 to everybody that they talk to about vaccines? Vaccines are safe and effective. It's the only thing they know.
It's a perfect analogy.
Repeating it over and over and over, but they've never actually read anything or educated themselves at all on any of the material about the
vaccine. You see, that's where you and I have another common trait. You read the darn books, and so do I.
Yes, I do.
And the package inserts and all those bloody scientific studies that people like myself, I don't even know what the words are.
Yes.
I have to look them up.
I have a literal medical terminology Latin dictionary next to me all the time to make sure I know all these words. I'm like, what in the world is that word?
There's another new word.
They just make up stuff 24/7. I'm like, what is that? Okay, great. Yeah. All right. Well, so we're going to learn how to win is the message.
Yes, that is it. Learn how to win and then practice it until we do it.
Have you ever met anybody who says they like losing? I love losing.
I have met some people.
Wait, for real?
Yes, because they love the sympathy that comes with it.
I call that victimhood.
And I tell people what it is.
If you are a victim, you should not be an audience member of the Dr. Artist Show. I'm not out looking for victims. I do not like pity. No. I want hope, ambition, drive, motivation and belief in something greater. Yep.
Yeah, it's the only way to go.
Amen. All right. So, Edward Griffin, thank you very much. There's a clip we're going to play here now, and 90-second episode, no clip commercial about the Red Pill Expo coming up this weekend. I hope you'll all join us. I will be there in person. You'll be in your home or you'll be in the building with us. Come join us at the Red Pill Expo this weekend.
Tired of being misled by the mainstream narrative? It's time to take the red pill and discover perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Join us at Red Pill Expo 2026, happening July 11th and 12th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hear from researchers, doctors, journalists, and speakers from around the world as they discuss global events, media narratives, health, technology, freedom, and much more. Whether you attend in person or watch online from the comfort of your home, Red Pill Expo gives you the opportunity to explore ideas and information outside the mainstream conversation. The event will be live streamed, and you can register for free online access today, or join us live in Las Vegas for the full experience.
Visit redpillexpo.org to reserve your ticket, get event details, and make your plans for Red Pill Expo 2026.
One last word. It's free, absolutely free. You can watch the whole thing for 2 days in the comfort of your home. But the real action is where you get out of your homes and you get out to where the action is with other people. So come to the event and spend a few bucks to get there and be in the live audience, make new friends, join the coalition, learn how to create or participate in a campus, and let's go and take the attack on the aggressive and take the initiative. Let's win instead of suffering. That's it.
All winners, join me and G. Edward Griffin this weekend at the Red Pill Expo. Oh, it's free. I don't know how expensive that is for you. If you can't afford free, maybe we'll make a donation of free on your behalf.
Look, all of our speakers, you included, the audience should know this. People like you get big bucks if you wanted to charge to be on stage. None of our speakers get paid anything. I don't get paid anything. Anybody on our staff, I mean, the decision makers, now the people that do all the work, of course, we have to pay. But we just sit around and smoking our cigars and tell them what to do. You know how that works. And so
I'm only doing this for the love of winning.
It's for the love of being human.
And winning.
And winning, yeah. Well, that's humans. Humans are winning creatures.
Humans.
They should be.
Being human.
Okay, enough of that. I'll see you at the event there, Bryan.
Bring it on. I'll see you this weekend.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks for inviting me. Bye-bye.
Bye.